Morning, Livia. It's time for your eye surgery. You gotta go to the hospital. Ready to go? Come on.
I thought going through a second surgery with Livia would be easier than the first time for me, but me trying to stuff away my emotions with it and try to not think about it and try to ignore it and keep myself busy, I started noticing that I was cleaning things that I normally wouldn't have cleaned if I wasn't stressed out about what was going on. I'm sure my attitude was showing. No comment.
I've been married for 13 years. I know when not to comment.
But as much as I tried to hide it and tried not to think about it, I was starting to notice things of like, I really am stressed out about this. And even though I'm trying not to think about it, like it's still in the back of my mind, even though I might not be talking about it or letting myself process what's going on. It was still very difficult and hard and probably not as healthy as if I just let myself think about it.
We're here at Cincinnati Children's Hospital for Livia's second eye surgery. A big one coming up here today.
I'm sorry, baby girl.
Time to get up.
Your day begins.
She's very hungry, so she's fussy because she hasn't slept or eaten since like Dana got up at 3:30 this morning to give her last feeding. So she's kind of fussy, but it's because she's hungry. But what I really like is when I start talking to her and she starts smiling. It gives me her little smiles when she hears my voice. Can I get a little smile under there?
For Livia's first surgery, I really didn't process that much at all. I was just kind of like, yeah, it's a surgery, no big deal. I had surgeries on my ears when I was growing up and I turned out fine. Like, you don't know anything different. Just kind of like brushing under the rug and not really thinking much about it. Just kind of like going through it. This surgery is a little different for me though, in that I was like, you know, like I started letting myself think about it. Like, as parents, you wish you could protect your kids from any sort of pain. And I know that's not practical, but like you just wish that you could do something to like so they never have to experience any pain again.
Just a little smile. Hi. There's my cute baby girl. There's my cute girl. Mommy's gonna come take your contact lens out, okay? And then things are gonna get really blurry and fuzzy for you. Good job, Mommy got it right out, right away. Mommy's done that a few times before. Oh, you're okay. There you go. Now we just wait for the doctor to be finished with his other surgery he's doing right now. And then come back and check on her and we'll get going here. In the meantime, we just sit here and we pray for her. And this one's harder for me than the first surgery. I'm not really sure why. Maybe because I know it's going to be a bigger recovery, or I know it's a more invasive surgery. I actually stayed up late the night before her surgery just thinking about it and just letting myself feel it, because I usually don't. And I figured that was healthy to do, so I just let myself kind of sit there and just feel the pain a little bit. And the thing that I thought was, you know what, is probably, like, this is good. Like, she needs to go through this surgery, this pain, because if she doesn't go through it, she will become permanently blind in that eye. And so like a little bit of temporary pain now is better than having lifelong blindness.
person myself. Like it's better for me to experience a little bit of pain now with exercise, working out, self-control than it is, you know, to let those types of things go. So I know it's like a good rule, a good principle maybe to follow, but when it's your kid, I think it's like a little different. You're like, no,
I want to try to protect them as much as possible and keep them away from all these hard lessons that we have to learn. Like, can't we just tell them about the lessons we've learned? Like, will they understand and learn it? I just feel like with Livia though, like I feel like the lessons that are being learned right now are more for us than for her, because she's not going to remember all of this.
Going back to surgery. Here we go, baby girl. Love you. Here we go. She's going back there. Guess we should keep the pacifier.
Are you all keep it with her?
I'll keep it with her? Okay. There you go. You can keep it, girl. Alright. I love you, baby girl. Bye. Livia's in surgery, so now we sit here and eat some breakfast. We packed some yogurts. We got some applesauce, some fruit. Popcorn? For breakfast?
I don't know how long we're gonna be here.
That's true.
The worst thing is if I burn it, then everybody has to smell burnt popcorn. That's worse than good smelling popcorn. It's 4 syllables in a row.
Consonants.
I didn't even say consonants.
Livia's out of her surgery now. It went well. We just met with the doctor. And he said it just went as great as could be expected. He said it definitely needed to be done. The pressure was really high in her eye, and it was already kind of starting to distort and make the eye swollen and kind of making things go bad. So everything went good though. We're just waiting for the anesthesia to wear off a little bit, and then we'll get to go see her and while she's in the recovery room, and she'll get to eat again because I'm sure she's very hungry. Just like we are.
We went back and forth so much with the doctor of trying different eye drops and medication and see does she really need it, because he didn't want to do a surgery that she didn't need, and we didn't either. So it was nice to know afterwards, like this was definitely something that had to happen and it was the best thing for her.
Yeah. If she didn't have the surgery, the nerve endings in her eye would have become damaged and she would start losing peripheral vision until she eventually loses all of her vision from that eye.
Yeah, in that eye.
Oh, wow, she's so limp and loose. So relaxed. Livia's home.
Livy's home.
Hello. Ooh, what are you making, Zeke?
I'm making pumpkin muffins.
Pumpkin muffins? What? Grandma making those with you?
Yep. So, how did she do?
Good.
Yeah?
She passed.
She's sound asleep.
Yeah, she passed her test.
Passed her test.
Livia is awake and
Cute. Bless you.
and she's getting her diaper changed, and her first time they kind of start looking around. Oh, you hear my voice? Does that make you happy to hear Daddy?
It's her favorite place to lay down.
Here on the changing pad?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
getting
you
clean
can talk
diapers makes
about
you
it,
happy.
too.
Oh, I like seeing your smiles.
She's
Thank you. What do you want to say about your surgery and your hospital visit? Do you have anything you want to say? Oh, thank you for those smiles. That makes Daddy feel so much better. Yeah, all those little smiles. I just love all of them.
Well, that didn't last long. She was smiles for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and then it wore off. And now she's tired, closing her eyes, wants to go back to sleep again. So, all right, Livia, have another nap. You're sleeping a lot today, aren't you? It's okay. It's okay. You need to rest. Here you go. Love you, girl. Yeah.
I'm very thankful that Livia had the surgery and that it's over, but now we have recovery time. So we go back tomorrow and see how she's doing, get her bandage removed, and look at her eye and let the doctor look and see if her eye's healing the way that it should be, and move on from there and figure out, learn what comes next.